maybe not deep diligence, but I checked the total deposit as on the appraisal because it was appraised. Even the loan form was appraised. The deposit written there, the loans outstanding, and the loan picked. There was no loophole. Even you couldn't tell. That lady was so cunning because even during the time of stock taking, 60,000 was reversed while Maritim was standing, waiting for her to close so that they begin stock taking. The lady told him that I want to receive this invoice so that everything tally. So Maritim was standing waiting for her, but Kumbe, she was reversing an amount of 60 and deposited and also deposited 50,000 when everybody was waiting for her to close. So that lady had but I'm happy. Everything is now sorted and we have control. Yes.
Okay. Madam CEO, you know, I believe approving alone is a whole chain of events. It's not something you say you're applying it now, you're getting it the same minute. It's something that goes through quite a number of people, around almost 10 people checks it. There are checks and balances. And you can't excuse to say that oversight overrun all of you people. That cannot be accepted. Kindly, cannot be accepted.
Anyway, Mr. Gisindai, just to say briefly, actually what Millicent has said is actually true. You know, the approval goes through stages, and most of them do not refer to the system at that time. So that actually, whatever happened on that day, actually the approving officers did not refer to the system because had they done it, it could have actually shown the actual. And possibly the lady, because of her cunningness, took the advantage of the officers and processed that thing very quickly. And therefore it just slipped away from the officers. So anyway, since we have put in place stringent measures to curb the fines, I hope going forward, such thing will not happen. We really regret the action, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think I'm not rising to raise any question, but only to put some member of clarification. We can see, first of all, we are not even congratulating. I like our CEO, Madam Millicent, and the Sacco members. But what I have to say is this, because we have common sense, we see how you are struggling to respond to our answers. Going forward, because this I want to respond this in caveat. Don't try to respond to any documented evidence to look for any other meaning verbally. Because as per now, you people don't have a packed report and a packed evidence. If we go to our former chairman, the way he sits, I think he is not satisfied with the way you have responded. Number two, the internal control, the band who raised the issue of the internal control, it was weak. You people have accepted some of the weaknesses. They will still call the triangle. For any crime to be committed, there must be a triangle and all Sacco must be met. This one was demonstrated in Illinois 1977. There must be opportunity, there must be a target, and there must be a perpetuator. The last one, even the idea itself must be cross-pollinated and can be cross-fertilized. Number two, I believe before you increase the use of pressure, that is how the idea was borrowed. You people, you need to do proper investigation for you to come out with the proper intel. The last one, people fail because I've noted the man, by the faith there could be some sort of collusions, the way things has happened. So going forward, we must be very careful. Otherwise, I will not stand up again. But I like the way you people are operating, the way you people are struggling to respond to our concerns. Thank you.
Respond. So, thank you, Bwana Okan and Bwana Kisindai, our member. We are saying, as our CEO has put it, concerning the lady. You see, the lady was a loan officer. Just wait. Let us have one meeting. Members, let us have one meeting. So we are saying she was a loan officer. She has also gone to Ketepa and knows the system, how they can do it. As Millicent has put it, we went to do a stock take. And after receiving stock from Kericho warehouse, that is from the company, we started counting. So after counting, they said, no, I haven't entered this document in the system. That is why I told her, I cannot count something which you have not entered in the system. First, entered it in the system. But entering that invoice and a delivery in the system, so we standing waiting. I thought it was only that. But he was doing his thing, knowing in our mind that there was a certain shortage in our stocks. So when he balanced the stocks, what really saved us is the audit trail of the Ketepa, whereby I had to pass another means of reconciling my stocks, because I saw there was something fishy there. Somebody, if, for example, Kericho warehouse, if we want to account stocks at Kericho warehouse, you will enter all the documents in the system to reflect true position of the stocks in the system. But because of that, we found out that figure. So we are, as Madam CEO has said, she was aware. That one of changing the figure, she was having that form, and she wanted a loan. For that loan, you have said, she wanted, and she calculated how my shares is required on that loan. And she put the same on that form. So when those people are passing, yes, shares is sour. Yes, shares is sour. Because it was in the system. She took what was not rightful in the system and placed in the paper. That is why they say they were not seeing the system that time. But now, we have said not one person will see the system. Quite a number of graded, even the chair and the CEO should see in the system whether the shares that is reflected in the form is equivalent to what is in the system. So that is it they are trying to do. So we are saying internal controls we need. That is why we have said as advisory, we will be doing surprise. And also credit. We will require the credit and not the one credit. When we went with my team, we went there, we required that form. And we need to see the 3 of them or 2 of them, two signatures on that form. But we have told them, let them sign whatever she sees in the system. Not only because somebody has signed. Let somebody sign what he has verified to be true and fair in the system. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for the trials. I know I'll just take them on face value because they're not convincing enough. Now I'm asking for a friend because the whole board took liability that it was solely their mistake, their oversight to approve a loan. Then this person has since left. Who is going to pay for the loan? I know there are guarantors here who are entangled in the web. Kindly tell us, because it starts from the way bottom. You messed, then you have to tell us who's going to pay for that loan. We do not have to wait too long, then we will come and say the guarantors have to pay if there was some laxity somewhere.
Maybe to answer that, regarding the case of Nelly, we are still pursuing with the courts. And once the courts decide, then we shall now look at the next step. Because we also have what we are expecting her to pay for what we lost because of our actions. So we are following on that.
And then from there we shall see what we shall do with the loan. But both of them are currently at our local officers.
Thank you, members.
Now, let me respond briefly on the court cases as it had been asked by our emeritus chair. The case of Agnes Ruto, she was able to, there was a write-up which they had with the court, and she settled what they had written with the court. Roughly it was around 900,000. So she was able to clear that. For the case of Alphonse, we have said there that the court ruled in Sacco's favor. Our legal officer is still following up. The amount in contention was around 500,000. So far, we have recovered only 100,000. For the case of Stephen Were, it is still ongoing. What he wanted was that if he paid the balance which was there before the end of his contract. For the case of Geoffrey Cheruyot, he's claiming that his contract or his terms of service were terminated unlawfully. But of course, we have our crown, so it is the court which will decide. For the case of Nelly Tarus, I think we have discussed so much on that, and the figures have been mentioned.
Okay. Members, I have a question here. I'm Samuel Ngeno, I'm member number 1896. And I'm asking, my question goes to loan officers with the Sacco. I don't know whether the directors are aware. There is a malpractice there, whereby I don't know how loose are these systems. I might be servicing a loan, and after some time I'm told another loan hit another one. Then waiting to finish that loan, I'm told the system left that one, and it needs to be restarted again. So I'm a victim of most loans there. I don't know this system, if there is a, if the system does not capture the loan from the time you apply to the time you end, because you might end up paying extra or failing or paying less or more than what you had applied. I don't know. I'm surprised and I'm worried about the law.
Okay, allow me request Joseph Maritim, if he is there to answer on our behalf. Yes.
Members, Barseno. Now, concerning the loans, of late, because of the government increase on taxes, the housing levy, the NSSF have come in, the SHA, for sure, some of our members are repaying their loans. So, what we normally do, we underpay the principal. Maybe the system in the Sacco, at the time of allocating that, it allocates to emergencies. So if your emergency is eating your principal, it is still your loan. For sure, for sure, you have the pay slips. You get the statement, and the beauty part of it is that you can access statement online. You don't need to go to Sacco. You just go to a computer, log in, download your statement, take it with your pay slips and see. You will see that maybe there are sales misallocation, but it is still within you. So that is it. You know, you've not come to me to tell me that my loans are not there, but.
Thank you so much, Maritim. Nasijamnunua Maritim. Because I wanted to come from one of you so that you get satisfied. And then, Mr. Ngeno, you have to apologize to us because we are not corrupt. Yes.
final one on loan loss provision. I did some comparison. 2023, loan loss provision was 253,600. Then 2024 we have 1.1, 1,161,174. Members, what I understand is that loan loss provision is funds set aside just to cover or cater for any potential risk of defaulted loans. Given its rising, I just want to be told if at all we have a reason to worry, because it's like we are anticipating for more defaulted loans in future. Just some clarity, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kisendai. To clarify on that, you have got it right. This is just a provision. Money set aside just in case a loan is not recovered. But this being a provision, it is based on the gross loans which have been issued. So the more the loans goes up, the more that figure will also keep going up because it's a percentage of the gross loans.
Okay, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the next part of our agendas. You, of course, I invite the treasurer to read us the financials. Welcome.
So, good afternoon once more. Let me take the honor of taking you through the financials for the year ended 31st December 2024. And those statements have been prepared in line with the financial reporting standards. Once I've done, I will invite the auditor to give his report on those financial statements. But maybe I will just take you briefly through the report by our regulator Sasra on those audited financial statements. I will not be able to read everything. You find it, there's a report from Sasra, which gave us the authority to proceed and convene this AGM after being satisfied that our financial statements actually show a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the Sacco in terms of the income and also the assets and liabilities. So I will start with the income statement. I notice figures had been shared in our WhatsApp group. So most of our members must have passed through these statements. So on, I think it is page 18, we have the statement of comprehensive income. So as I've said, these figures are prepared comparatively. We have for the year 2024 and also for the year 2023. For the interest on members' loans, we have that 7,555,000 to 67.51 as compared to last year, where we had 30,590,416.84. We have other interest income, where we have 6,602,000 to 67.84 against 5,527,476.94. So total interest income for the year, we have 44,157,500 535.35. For the year 2023, we add 36,117,893.78. Then we less the interest expense. For the current year, we have 17,388,036. In the previous year, we had 18,141,348. So the net interest income, we have 26,769,499.35 against 17,976,545.78. We also have at operating income of 352,502.02 and 438,290.04 in the year 2023. So total income for the year 2024, we have 27,122 and 1 shillings, 0.37. Last year we had 18,414,835. Then we have expenses, financial expenses. We have in the current year we have 3,323,588.07 against 1,210,633.76. In that area, you can see that there was an increase, but that is explained by Note 5, which to just explain briefly, one of the items in finance expense is that loan loss provision, which I have explained that the loan provision increased because of the increase in cross loans. We also had the finance expense. We had the bank charges, which if you go to Note 5, you will find that the figure increased, partly because of a facility we got with the bank, which was meant to finance the increasing demand of loans. In there, we introduced the 84-month loan, which most of our members took that loan. This meant that our monthly remittances reduced. Also, take you back briefly, we also introduced that 6-month loan in the other year. In the last year, 2024, we had an increase in demand for that product. So now we have, we add 2 products. We have 84-month, we have that 6, which are going parallel. So for us to finance that, we had to look for a facility to meet the demands for our members. That increased the bank charges. That's why we are seeing the finance expense increased from 1.2 to 3.3. We have administration expenses. There we have 3.6 million against 3.1 million the previous year. And one of the items responsible for the increase there, there's an amount we had to write off, rather provide the investment we had in Cusco. As you are all aware, there's been in the news. So for us, in fact, we are lucky. The amount we had was this there in Note 7. We had 714,534. So we had to provide for all of it. In case Cusco is revived, this money will be recovered and will be an income. In case it's not revived, we have already expensed it in this financial year. Then we have a governance expense, that is a governance, 2.7 this year against 2.4 last year. Depreciation amortization, 267,365 against 325,533. Personnel, this year we have 3.2, that is 3,223,241 against 3,301,569.07. So this gives us a total expense of 13,240,560.26 compared to 10,454,272.47 in the previous year. So the net operating surplus before income tax, we have 13,881,441.11 against 7,960,563.35 in the previous year. So when we less the income tax expense, we have 101,250.61 in the current year. The last year was 155,142.71. So the net operating surplus after tax, we have 13,780,190.51 against 7,805 for 20.65 in the previous year. From there, we have the 20% transfer. There is something I noted on statistical information. The figure for total expenses there is supposed to be 13,240,560.26 and not at 10 million, which is shown there. So that's for the statement of comprehensive income. Then we go to the next page. We have the statement of financial position. This is what shows the assets and liabilities of the Sacco. So I start with the assets. And that is we have prepayments and receivables of 113,444.88 compared to 212, 266.02 in the previous year. We have trade and other receivables of 24,757,295.65 compared to 22,035,898.25. We have inventories of 699,851.26 compared to 499,098.92 in the previous year. We have loans to members where we have 219,060,330.33 compared to 191,586,484.97. So this you can see that there was a significant increase in the loans that were issued in the year. Our loan book, as at the beginning of the year, was 191 million. At the close of the year, we had 219 million, an increase of almost 28 million. We have financial assets where we have 4.7 million, that is 4,789,159.2 and 4,933,693.2. Then we have property, plant and equipment, 906,288.96 against 926,572.27. Intangible assets, we have 88,859.48 against 126,942.12. So total assets, we have 258,020, that's 258,020,928.49. At the beginning of the year, it was 230,973.80. So you can see that our asset base has grown from 230 million to now 258 million. In terms of liabilities, we have members' deposits. We have 158,339,910.74. And we have, in the previous year, we had 144,730,605.2. And members, what I would like you to know there is that you can see that your deposits grew from 144 million to 158 million. So the growth in deposits is not corresponding with the growth in loans. And you know we are a savings and credit. We take your deposits, you borrow your deposits. So if the deposit is growing, we have interest payable on deposits. In the current year, we have 17,388,006. In the last year, we had 18,141,348. Then trade and other payables, we have 11,125,040.39. In the previous year, we had 7,841,006.59, giving us total 97.13 compared to 170, 712, 959.79. Then share capital, we have 3,378,17.88 compared to 2,193, 673.21. So there has been an improvement as members try to comply with the minimum share capital, which you approved, we raised to 10,000. Then reserves, we have 67,789 to 30.42. In the previous year, we had 58,066. That's 58,066 for 47.12. So total liquidity, we have 71,167,941.3 compared to 60,260,120.33. So total liabilities and equity, 258,020,928.43 compared to 230,973,080.12. So those are the financial statements. We have there the comprehensive notes, which shows the breakdown of how those figures were arrived at. Thank you. Now, let me call upon the auditor to come and express his opinion as relates these financial statements, whether they reflect the true and fair view as per their audit. Welcome.
Hello, good evening, members. Good evening, members. Yes, my name is CPA Eliphas Yegon. The auditor who was supposed to be here today could not get time and asked me to be here on his behalf. So I'm going to read out the auditor's report on behalf of him. So, in our opinion, the accompanying financial statements of Ketepa regulated non-withdrawal deposit, that is the Sacco Society Limited, give a true and a fair view of the financial position of the Sacco as at 31st December 2024. And its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standard IFRS and Companies Act 2015. What we have audited: the financial statement of the Sacco, which comprises the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2024, the statement of the comprehensive income, which has been read out, the statement of changes in equity, the statement of the cash flows from for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statements, which include a summary of the explanatory information. Basis of the opinion: we conducted our audit in accordance with the International Standard on Auditing Standards, and our responsibility under those standards requires that our responsibility under those are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the Sacco with the meaning of International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, that is IESPA code. We have fulfilled our other responsibilities under those ethics requirements. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide basis for our opinion. Going concern: the financial statements have been prepared on a going concern basis, which assumes that the Sacco will be in operational existence for a foreseeable future. As part of our audit of the financial statements, we have concluded that the management's use of the going concern basis of accounting in the preparations of the Sacco's financial statements is appropriate. Directors had a material uncertainty that may cast a significant doubt on the entity's ability to continue as a going concern, and accordingly none is disclosed in the financial statements. Key audit matters are those matters that in our professional judgment were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements. Key audit matters are selected from the matters communicated with those charged with the governance, but are not intended to represent all matters that were discussed with them. Our audit procedures relating to these matters were designed in the context of our audit of the financial statements as a whole and informing our opinion thereon. We do not provide a separate opinion on these individual matters. In addition to the matter described in the material uncertainty related to going concern section, we have determined the matters described below to the key audit matters to be communicated in our audit report. I have determined that there are no audit matters to communicate in my report. My responsibilities of directors and those charged with the governance for the financial statements. The directors are responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statement in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards and with the Companies Act 2015. And for such internal controls as directors, the determinants are necessary to enable the preparations of financial statements that are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or errors. In preparing the financial statements, the directors are responsible for assessing the Sacco's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern basis for accounting unless the management either intends to liquidate the Sacco or to cease the operations or has no realistic alternative but to do so. The management team is responsible for overseeing the financial reporting process. Auditors' responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements. The objectives of our audit are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ISAs will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatement can arise from a reasonably be expected to influence the economic decision of users taken on the basis of these consolidated financial statements. As part of an audit in accordance with the ISA, we exercise the professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the planning and performance of the audit. We also identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the consolidated financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain the audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the entity's internal control. Evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used in the reasonableness of accounting and estimates and related disclosures made by the management. Evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statements, including the disclosures, and whether the financial statements represent the underlying transaction and events in a matter that in a manner that achieves fair presentation. Obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information of the entities and the business activities within the Sacco to express an opinion on the consolidated financial statements. We are required to communicate with those charged with the governance regarding, among other factors, the planned scope, timing of the auditor, and significant audit findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal control that we identified during our audits. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. We report to you, based on our audit, that we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audits. And in our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the Sacco so far as appears from the examination of those books, and that the Sacco statements of financial positions and statement of profit and loss are in agreement with the books of accounts. The engagement button on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is CPA Amos of number 2350 for and on behalf of PACE Partners, Certified Public Accountants. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, our treasurer, for your report, and the auditor. So please, can we adopt the two reports? Separate. Yeah, please, can we adopt? Proposer, please. Members, come up. I hope you have been listening to what has been read. And please, surely. Can we adopt, please? I need a proposer and a seconder. Ketepa, please, can you give out a mic? Peter Sang, simama. Seconder, as the other one is continuing.
Member number 1384.
Peter Sang. Okay, a seconder, please.
Member number 1371.
Imeisha. Thank you. So we go, okay. At the following now will be presentation of the budget.
So once more, we can go to the last page on our booklet. So in that the last page, we have the budget for the year 2025, which we have prepared together, as we normally do with the projected budget for the year 2026. So for the interest of time, we have interest income, which comprises of interest on members' loans, the loan purchase offset commission, the loan processing income, insurance income, interest from bank and mobile loan. So in the year 2025, we are budgeting to raise a total of 44,580,000 as our interest income. In the year 2026, we are projecting 46,297,210. For investment income, we are projecting to raise 890,000 in the year 2025 and 950,000 in the year 2026. For other operating income, which comprises the miscellaneous income, the agencies, the Safaricom and base agencies, the gates of income, we are projecting a total of 1,009,000 in 2025, and 1,013,000 in their 2026. So our total projected turnover for their